into the pit. Only one crawled out.
Hi there, it's Rob, aka Fatal Shock for Gamer Escape, here to tell you what waits in Destiny expansion, The Dark Below. Destiny has a very particular formula: collect bounties, replay missions, hand in bounties for a small reward, rinse and repeat. The grinding nature of Destiny is apparent from the off, and The Dark Below is no different. If you're going into The Dark Below hoping for a completely different experience from the base game, you may be disappointed. If you go into The Dark Below hoping for more of the same, you should get exactly what you're looking for. Though an expansion by name, you shouldn't expect The Dark Below to be a game-changing act of extravagance in additional content. For your money, you can expect an additional strike, an additional raid, and 3 additional story missions, as well as a small level cap increase, some bounty-based conflict and public events with different foes to the north. It simplifies the equation to simply say, is that all? But for the most part, it is. There is a wealth of new gear and weaponry to utilize for your particular needs, but again, as was the case in the base game, most of these weapons and armor sets will be rendered obsolete by the need of the players to reach level 32. Achievable, once again, by playing the raid or playing the Iron Banner, a timed event that arrives in the Destiny main hub, the Tower, from time to time. Xur is still an ever-present come Friday, but his wares, much like most of the game at this point, are starting to wear a little thin. Players with more than 400 hours in the game will find that he very rarely offers anything they need, and that strange coin collection, the primary form of currency that the elusive black market dealer accepts, can sometimes grow for weeks on end. The new strike is one of the big positives of The Dark Below, featuring a multi-stage encounter with the shrieking Omnigul. This strike features close quarters combat, relentless enemy density, and a satisfying final encounter that makes this strike one of the more challenging and certainly the most challenging Nightfall. For more on Nightfalls, check out our review of the base game. The biggest addition to The Dark Below is the raid, Crota's End. So polished and atmospheric is the raid that we don't even want to spoil it by showing it to you. The story missions add a little more to the lore of the game, bringing warrior Eris Morn into the mix to share her stories of how she battled with Crota's armies and barely survived. When you are done with her story, she will ask you to fill her urn. No. This is a multi-stage fetch task that will ultimately take you into the depths of the moon to duke it out with sword-wielding baddies, or should I say, more sword-wielding baddies. It's a satisfying conclusion to a creative, if not underwhelming quest. The gameplay of Destiny remains its highest achievement to date. Sterling gunplay, atmospheric locations, breathtaking backdrops, and intelligent AI on a polished difficulty modifier make Destiny a rock-solid foundation of excellent quality that is let down only by lack of variety. The gameplay itself is as solid as a first-person shooter ever was. The Dark Below boasts the same vibrant soundtrack as the base game, with an excellent collection of sound effects ranging from ship thrusters to weapon fire. No one can question the quality of the sound design in Destiny. Though many claim that Destiny is in a more solid state, this reviewer has found the animal errors, though less common, just as annoying. Network issues are fairly common, but on the whole the game runs smoothly, and visual glitches remain minimal for the most part. The grind is strong with this one, as ever it was. There are more bounties to farm, more missions to grind, and more tasks to collect. You've beaten these bosses 100 times? Do it 100 more! Do it 1,000 more! 10,000 more! Players who love a long, thankless grind will find plenty to love here, but the rest of us are starting to find fault with this star's staying power. Where The Dark Below trips and falls over completely is in its value. There simply isn't enough content to keep the player going. As a whole, the game is growing tiresome and repetitive, beyond the point of the grinding we've come to know and love. The freshness of The Dark Below wears off far too quickly for its own good, and the price of admission for this extension of the base game is simply too high. If you weren't a fan of Destiny, The Dark Below won't win you over. If you're looking for a little bit more for more money, The Dark Below delivers. It still boasts the same quality of sound and gameplay that you've come to expect from this high-budget blockbuster from Bungie, but it suffers from a lack of staying power. or anything to really change the face of the overall game, as one would expect from an expansion.
Now you must face what lurks in the dark below.